This is an adult channel.
In this video, we will be reviewing the eaglemoss Starships Collection Klingon transport. It was launched in 2200 C. Propulsion is warp speed and crew of 54. I picked this one off the shelf. I have several I have yet to review because I like the design. I like it. This is number 154. And its length is 55 meters approximately. You could divide that by 3, or multiply that by 3 approximately to get that number in feet. So it's probably, what, 165 feet long approximately. And it's operated by refugees. Very nice graphic there. The transport ship used by the refugees to escape their homeworld was a basic cargo ship, little suited to transporting living beings. The demands of a long interstellar journey quickly led to critical system failures of warp engines and life support, leaving the refugees on the brink of death and in dire need of help. Do you remember which episode this was? I just like this design for some reason. The leader of the refugees told Captain Archer their colony world was annexed by a species they had never encountered before, the Klingons. The Enterprise NX-01 responded to a distress signal from the transport ship. Captain Archer and his crew found the ship in a bad way. There were 27 vital signs detected on board, and the port warp nacelle was leaking reactant cooler, making rescue imperative. Leaving a trail of smoke. There's a aft view. The warp nacelles and the hull plate coloring of the transport are typical of Klingon ship and design. Yes, Klingons like green for their ships. The refugees rescued by the Enterprise were very weak and malnourished. Dr. Phlox administered protein supplements to help. Now that's a cool picture. Captain Duross of the battlecruiser Borlath was tasked with bringing the rebels back to the Empire. On intercepting the rebel transport ship, Duross found the vessel docked with the Enterprise, demanding the return of the rebels. Duross perceived Captain Archer's response to be aggressive. Well, yeah, of course. There it is, docked to the NX-01. Duross, remember him from the Next Generation? Klingons live to an old age. Duross's testimony of events stated that the Enterprise fired on the Bortas first, forcing the Klingon captain to retaliate and engage. Yeah. Kirk said you can't trust Klingons. The Enterprise was unable to match the speed or weapons of the Bortas, forcing Archer to employ unorthodox tactics to escape a fatal battle and get the refugees to safety. Detecting isolytic plasma in the nearby ring system, the Enterprise lured the Bortas into a trap, igniting the plasma with a modified torpedo. The effect disabled the Bortas' sensors, allowing the Enterprise to make its escape undetected. The pages of this particular book seem to be stuck a little bit. John Eves, the great John Eves, he designed so much in Star Trek. And we need to focus. There we go. John Eves' initial concept sketches for Minos' ship, which later became the Rebel transport, that was trying to break out a shape of them to look at, and they liked both. The landing gear has this stairwell ramp, so if they needed to build a set that had a hatch in the landing gear, they could manipulate around it. That's pretty cool. You know, the design guy is thinking of the production in his designs for, the most economical way to film it. Those are cool designs too. It's always neat to see how these started as. Eves initially came up with a different concept for the Rebel transport before a redress was decided on. That's in that. And all these shapes, I just like the beauty of these shapes. They really look like transports. More detailed sketches of Eve's concepts. The top concept was an alternative that adapted a more swervy, curvy aesthetic to hint to its Vulcan origins. The bottom concept was the design taken forward to CG. It's just the bulkiness and the utility of it looks. I just like the way these Mr. Eves designed them. And then we go in with Goodman's Trial. Writer David A. Goodman looks back on Judgment, putting Archer on trial and bringing a new dimension to the Klingons. I usually don't read this part. This talks about a particular episode. I'm more interested in the ship, honestly. I mean, I can watch the extras on the DVDs and stuff about the story. These videos are about the ship and the design elements. I love the designs. But it is neat to look at these pictures. Real Pente. Of course, we saw that in Star Trek: The Undiscovered Country. On screen, this ship was seen on screen in this episode, Enterprise Judgment. Judgment was Scott Bakula's favorite episode. Archer's trial took place on Klingon outpost of Narendra 3. That was one of my favorite episodes. Next Generation was Enterprise, Enterprise C, I think was the name of that episode. Or Yesterday's Enterprise, yes, I'm sorry. Alright, let's look at this ship. And here we are. I do like that. That green is almost metallic. And check out that. Oh, how do they do that little bitty Aztecing? Look there on the top. You can see little squares. That's amazing. And of course, I mean, this almost reminds me of the Defiant a little bit, this front. And I think that's a dish. They didn't really have a graphic for this like they usually do in the book, pointing to some key features. I just like this design. So this was a Vulcan ship, I think they said, and then it was turned into a Klingon transport. I'm not really sure. I can't remember. Been nice if those two little vents there were painted, but translucent part right there, that red. There's the bottom of it. It almost reminds me of that I think it was a Clone Wars shuttle, you know, but it had wings going up on each side and in the middle. But I really like this design. I really do. I think it kicks ass. And sometimes I just can't put my finger on why I like it. I love that striping down there. Almost looks like it's weathered, and maybe that's the purpose of it. Because look at that striping right here too. It looks weathered. I really appreciate the paint job on this one for the most part. Look at my fingernails. And there it is on the stand. It fits really tight in that stand. But I really like this design. It would have been cool if it came with landing gear. But I got 3D printer. I could make. That's the thing. When this design is complex enough, I don't know if I could. It would take forever to design this for me anyway. So. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next video.